Bonjour and bienvenue. This is Fabulously Delicious, the French food podcast. Today, it's a special Revisit Sunday edition where we take a second bite at some of our favourite flavours from past episodes. French cuisine isn't just about recipes, it's about passion, history, and the stories behind every ingredient. On Revisit Sundays, we dive back into these culinary tales, uncovering even more fascinating details and delicious insights. I'm your host, Andrew Pryor. Enchanté. Once a MasterChef contestant in Australia, I now call France home. Here I spend my days cooking, tasting, exploring, and celebrating the extraordinary food, wine, and traditions of this beautiful country. Today, we're taking a closer look at the rather magical ingredient, the Anis Vert, or green anise, a fragrant herb that has spiced up French kitchens for centuries. So grab a cup of tea, a slice of pain d'épices, or just sit back and let your imagination wander through the scents and flavours of France. It's time to indulge in another fabulously delicious journey. Welcome to Fabulously Delicious Revisit Sunday. Anis Vert, or green anise in French, is spelled A-N-I-S, and Vert, V-E-R-T. Vert being the French word for green. It's a species of herb that comes from the Apiaceae family of plants and is related to mint, marjoram, sarriette, and coriander. The name anise is derived from Old French actually, and it comes from the Latin words animus or anethium, which then comes from the Greek word anethion, meaning dill. Anise in English used to be called Annette. Often though, it's known under other names, depending on where you're from. Anis Vert can just be anise, cultivated anise, musk anise, officinal anise, sweet anise, bocage, pimpernel, pimpernette anise, and pimpernel d'Egypte. Aromas and flavours of Anis Vert can often be confused with other herbs and spices that have similar tastes to them, like fennel or licorice, even tarragon. Anise is one of the oldest and aromatic plants in the world. The ancient Greeks used it, and the Romans even used to put it in snacks that would be prepared for the people that used to go and watch the gladiator fights, apparently. It's an annual or biannual plant, so I don't know how that works, that when fully grown is between 50 to 80 centimetres high. It has small white flowers that turn into greenish grey fruits. The whole plant, the leaves, stems, fruits, flowers and roots are all aromatic. The Anis Vert is a spice herb that before coming to France I knew nothing about. It's actually native to the Middle East and Eastern Mediterranean countries. Charlemagne cultivated the herb throughout the late 8th and 9th century, and so was responsible for some of the herb's spread across Europe. It's sown in the spring between April and May, and then the leaves can be harvested within a couple of months. Then the seeds are harvested in the autumn, usually around September. The leaves of the Anis Vert are often finely chopped and used in salads or to garnish soups. The seeds of the Anis Vert can be used in pastries and sweet confectionery. In fact, the seeds are often reduced to a powder to replace sugar, so that you can reduce the amount of sugar used in pastries and sweets. One of the main ways Anis Vert is used in France, especially, but also even around Europe, is in liqueurs and drinks, like anisette, raki, ouzo, pastis, and even absinthe. The drink, that is. Anis Vert is a source of macronutrients and contains essential oils that are rich in iron, magnesium, calcium, and other minerals and trace elements. Often, Anis Vert will be used in herbal infusions due to their calming properties. It's also often recommended for treating bloating and other digestive difficulties, and even reflux. Anis Vert shouldn't be confused with star anise, which comes from the fruit of the badane tree and is mainly found grown in Asia. Although star anise and green anise do have similar flavour properties. Need a little French flavour in your feed? Between podcast episodes, I'm serving up short tasty videos on the rich history of French food because, well, every dish has a story, and I'm dishing it all out on Instagram. You'll also catch snippets of life here in France, plenty of behind the scenes moments, and maybe even a pastry or two I didn't eat. Well, not yet anyway. So follow @AndrewPryerFabulously on Instagram and Threads, and let's turn your scroll into some snack time the fabulous French way. One of the most popular uses of Anis Vert in French cooking, and the way that I found it as an ingredient, is in the pain d'épices, a French spice bread, or cake even, that is often served with foie gras at Christmas. Here's my recipe for pain d'épices. The ingredients you'll need: 250 grams of honey, 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 100 grams of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of green anise, 1 teaspoon of ginger powder, 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 2 eggs, and 100 ml of milk, or 10 centilitres. The method: preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat the honey in a saucepan on medium to low heat. In a bowl, mix the flour with the baking powder, sugar, and the spices. Add the hot honey, stirring with a wooden spoon. Then gradually add the eggs, one at a time. Then a little of milk to amalgamate everything. Pour this mixture into a well-buttered cake pan or a loaf pan that has been lined with baking paper. Bake and cook for an hour or until a skewer comes out clean. Remove from the oven and then unmold the gingerbread when it's completely cooled from the pan. Wait for at least 24 hours before tasting it, but it will even keep for a week wrapped in aluminium foil. John Gerard was an English herbalist who noted in the Great Herbal, an early encyclopedia of herbal medicine, the following about Anis Vert. The seed wasteth and consumeth wind, and is good against belchings and unbraidings of the stomach, Alethian grippings of the belly, provoketh urine gently, maketh abundance of milk, and stirreth up bodily lusts. It staveth the lesk, diarrhea, and also the white flux, lucria. Thanks, Pat John. And that's a wrap for this special revisit episode of Anis Vert. Did you discover anything new about this aromatic French herb? Or perhaps feel inspired to try it in a dish or a recipe? I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether it's a tip, a flavour pairing, or just a fun fact you hadn't known before. Connect with me on Instagram @AndrewPryerFabulously or drop me a line at contact@AndrewPryerFabulously.com. Let's chat about French herbs, cooking, or anything delicious. I'm always here for a good foodie conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends, family, or anybody who loves exploring French flavours as much as we do. Your support keeps these delicious journeys going, and if you're feeling extra fabulous, leave a review. It's a wonderful way to help other food lovers find the show. Thank you for joining me on this Anis Vert adventure. Your curiosity and love for French food make every episode so rewarding. Remember my motto: whatever you do it fabulously. Merci beaucoup and bon app. Until next time, au revoir.